Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. So I turned the volume up. Sorry for my welfare setup I have here. Anyway, I had the camera. I was going to use Bro's tripod thing, but anyways, it just didn't work. I said, I'll do it my way. So I got my sausage with the syrup and my potato pancakes. They look good. Crispy. Oh, I'm so proud of myself right now. Look. So, like I said before, my neighbor that moved in, she was from, well, both of them, actually, her and her husband was like the, from the eastern shoreline of New Brunswick. So, Moncton, Buckshot, going up north. Buckshot, Rishabakto, Rogersville, Bathurst, Shediac. I've been all around New Brunswick. The only part that I really haven't been, I haven't went to St. Stephen's to go over to Maine. I haven't been to St. Andrews and Capitolo and Grand Manan Islands, and I've been to St. John, but not going towards. And I, when I go back to New Brunswick, I'm going to go there because it's a lot of fishing and around that shore, of course. And see the eastern shoreline. You got the Northumberland, that's east, Northumberland Strait, and then you got Prince Edward Island. Well, there's a lot of lobster fish too, and then the Bay of Fundy between New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. But anyway, so um, so Anna was her name, our neighbor. She used to make potato pancakes and raw pie and the patin raw pay. And this is how she made it, but she did do the flour and the baking powder. But I like it with just, I like the pancake with the buttermilk. Um, Granny, like I said, is from that area. So Dad can speak a little French, and then they start hanging around with Anna and her husband. We used to go to Cape Lemire to get lobster. It's a cape around that area. The boats would come in with the daily catch of the fish. And I remember this. You walk on a plank and it had like a building. And you walk, and then all the lobsters are setting in the water. And we get back then, just like, we get back then, oh man, just a sec. My nose is running today. So we get back then like 200, like Mom and Dad, me and my brother, and I don't know what Anna and her husband, but I remember getting $200 worth of lobster. Nowadays, how many lobster would you get for that? Be lucky 10. Anyways, $200 worth. Now, we always cooked our own, and we go to Rishabakto, and the sand is, I love it there because you go in the water and it's salt, and you got the seaweed. I love Dallas along the shore, but the sand is all roughly on your feet. Anyways, a lot of people, especially in that area, they cook their lobster with the salt water. But Mom didn't like that. She liked doing fresh water and adding her own salt. She said seawater. I never ever tasted them cooked in seawater, so I don't know the comparison, but she said it wasn't salty enough. So we spent the night at the campground, cooked the lobsters up, and have a feast and everything. We did a lot of, summertime, we did a lot of camping with. And then he got in that accident, the drag line. He used to clean the boom, and the boom broke. Dragged him across the cut. But anyway, so when I lived in the trailer park with Jim, there's this girl across the way. We were both catching the bus to work downtown. So we started talking. And she could speak French. She was from around that area, but her mother moved up north, more north to Dalhousie. Her husband in the summertime, he worked nights during the week. And he worked nights during the week. And he would, I just got a chill yesterday, last couple of days being cold. So I'm just staying indoors and doing my laundry, and I'm not going outside today. A lot of vitamin C and drink the juice, and I'll be feeling better tomorrow. But anyways, so he works during the week, and then on the weekend in the summer, well, in the wintertime, I think that's when we met. He played, her husband lived right across the street from us. He played guitar, fiddle, mandolin, and a couple of his friends on the weekend would go over, not every weekend, but, and the women, it was sort of like you bring your own chips and, well, like a potluck, but no food, it's just chips and munchies, whatever. And the women would sit in the kitchen, well, it was open concept, her mini home. So sitting in the dining room, but the living room's right there, and the guys would sit there, drink and play their guitar and whatever, right? And sing. But she invited me and Jim over, and I said, well, he can't play no guitar, he can't play nothing, that one. So she said, it don't matter. She said, sometimes this other guy, Bob, he plays guitar or whatever, but sometimes he just sits and listens. He don't even play guitar. So we do that once a month or something, because the kids were old. LaPonda was old enough to babysit, sort of thing, and they'd be sleeping, and I'm right across the street, and I could keep an eye on the trailer anyway. But anyway, and I go check on them and that. And we'd only spend a couple hours over there, you know. Then during the week in the wintertime, she had no kids. We'd get TV bingo. I'd pick up on Tuesday, I would pick up our cards. And chips, pop, bars, stuff like that at the dollar store, you know. And we'd sit and play, because he worked nights. And she had nothing to do. And then on Thursdays, TV bingo, she would buy. It would be her turn. So we did that for the whole winter. When summer came, I think the same guys on the weekend that used to go over, I think, well, he was from Miramichi, and he'd take off, and they only had one vehicle. And he'd take off on the weekend. She could have went, but it's not her cup of tea. She wasn't into drinking, partying, and, you know, fishing. And she'd go once in a while, bring a book and sit along the water, she said. But anyway, so he'd go fishing, and it was a little campground. Leave on Friday, stay Friday, Saturday night, and then come back Sunday. So anyway, they had a strange relationship. They were never together. But I suppose, like I said to Jim, we got along better when we were both working, and we didn't see each other. That's the only time. Anyway, so while he was fishing on the weekend, and they only had one vehicle, the van at the time, and we got that new car, the Grand Am, and they were big Tim Hortons. I mean, it could be blizzard, nobody out on the road, and he would walk to Tim Hortons, which isn't that far, but still in a blizzard, to go get them 2 coffees and come back. It could have been a blizzard and there's no getting out. He's done it just to get 2 coffees. But anyways, so on Saturday, because Jim knows it's hard to do your grocery shopping with kids and stuff, it's just groceries. And I had 2 places to go to, Sobeys and Victory in New Brunswick. So me and her would go down, get our coffee, go to Sobeys, and then Victory, get our meat, and come home. Every Saturday. Practically. 3 times a month anyway. Her mother is from the East Shoreline, but she lived in Dalhousie. Miramichi's here, so you go Fredericton to a couple hours to Miramichi and then Dalhousie. But anyway, her grandmother passed away and left her an old rocking chair that she wanted. Her mother was away doing something, so the house was empty up there in Dalhousie. So my friend, she had her driver's license, right? So she asked me, type of person, if you're no use to her, then she's not your friend. But if you're used to her, you're of use to her. Anyways, not going to get into the French and all that, but I find a lot of them's like that. And I can give you examples to prove it. But anyway, I would never live up around that way, let's put it that way. So, she wanted to go pick up the rocking chair. And her husband, like I said, goes to Miramichi. So she asked me, is when, because the house was empty, on Friday night, actually it was Saturday, he only spent 1 night there. Because she knew I had kids, and so just one night. She said, because she didn't want to drive alone, she said, want to go to Dalhousie with me? We'll go early Saturday morning, spend the night at Mom's, pick up that rocking chair, and head back home, go through, we gotta bypass Miramichi anyway, and pick her husband up. We drop him off and pick him up. I said, sure, I've never been around. I've been to Rishabukto and all that, but I was never, maybe when I was younger, but I can't remember it, but Miramichi and Newcastle. I've been to Bathurst, you go to Bathurst, I've been there, but I really couldn't remember. So, anyways, I said, okay. She said, when we get there Saturday, I'll take you to a restaurant and don't worry about nothing. You don't have to pay for nothing. So I said, sure. So we drove up and dropped him off. Remember she? And he gave me some Miramichi salmon too. So I taste salmon from there. The Grand Lake, St. Croix, the river. But the best salmon is BC sockeye, of course. Miramichi salmon, I think the best salmon in New Brunswick that I taste, I say the St. Croix between Maine and, because I had a friend that lived right on the border, like right on the border. And he gave me perch, and he gave me bass, and if you know how to take the bones out, and I deep fried it, oh my God, it was so good. Damn, almost as good as this halibut. Almost, but anyway, and then he gave me salmon, but that's a different story. So anyway, so we went and picked up, she did me a favor, really. She did it. On the way to Dalhousie, she went to a scenic route all up along the And it was a beautiful summer day. Look, I felt like sleeping. Had the window down, and you had the wind from the salted water, the seawater. Oh, anyway, we did the scenic route. Then we stopped at an old lighthouse. It used to be a lighthouse. And she got me fish and chips. And that was good. Because I mean, it was freshly caught that day. So we went to her place. Then we had supper later. And then went to, I think it was a Chinese restaurant or something. It's pretty good. Walked around her little town. Little city town, whatever. And then we left and came back. But on the way back, she went the highway. There's two ways, right? But she did the scenic route. And it was beautiful. And then on the way back, picked him up. He drove back. She didn't really like driving. But anyway, we used to do all that. Then they decided the van was quite old and everything. So when we got a new vehicle, they had to get a new vehicle, right? So, like I said, when me and Jim separated, they had a vehicle. I didn't have a vehicle for a while until I got the van. Saving nothing. Be winter time, whatever. They both know. They both know that I'm over there with 3 kids and no vehicle. It's winter. I mean, the store's not that far. But in the winter time, you gotta go up a hill and they go to the store for pack cigarettes or something. Or they go down the street to the other store there. You can get food or whatever. And we used to go get groceries and stuff. I never charged her gas. Could've. They'd go down the road, come back, I would see them. Me and Jim separated, she just stopped talking to me. But they go to the store and they'll call me out and say, do you need a pack of cigarettes or do you need anything? I'll pick it up for you. Nothing. Now if her and her husband separated and he took off with the car, and I mean, you catch the bus back and forth to work, of course, but if I was going to the store, I would call her up and say, do you need a pack of cigarettes? Or I'm going to Timmy's, did you want me to pick you up a coffee? It's not put me out any because I'm going there. Not once. She stopped talking to me and everything. Well, I wasn't after a man, so I really don't. Anyways, funny people. She didn't need me anymore, see? I didn't have the car. She didn't need me. Anyhow, yeah. When Jim was working at Revenue, and this girl, she started working after me. And she was from that area I'm talking about, Eastern. So great. Anyways, oh yeah, going up, they had all these, they're so proud of a KDR and whatever. And on the telephone poles, they had painted around blue, red, and whatever their colors are, white, all that. Now you're in Fredericton, I remember at one time when they did the bus, they used to do on the telephone poles, the bus stops, they would. So we're going up and they're so proud of their, anyway. All up the road, like every second one, and I said, geez, there's a lot of bus stops here. Well, she laughed. Anyways, so at Revenue, I explained to Jim because I was working in HR and he was working as a storage and client assistance or whatever it was, but They were doing a project restructuring our department, dividers, and anyways. So I said, well, this, because at home I draw a line and say, now this one's the head boss, and this one don't like to be bothered. And I knew them all, right? You know, like their personality, because he didn't want to get on anybody's nerves. So anyway, because they're doing it in the daytime and mostly night, but he had a lot of overtime when he worked on that project. But anyway, working nights. And then I said, and this one is from, and I said, she only talks to you if she needs you. He don't know. He's not, he's from, well, he lived in New Brunswick, but I mean, he didn't know. Anyway, about that area. And I said, she only talks to you if you need you, if she needs you. He's seen it. She ignored him all the time and everything, and he said, can you move? And you know what I mean, real snotty. But when she needed him, oh, she found out his name. And then after that, can you come here? Can you come here? And can you come here? Bothering her. He says, I see what you mean. When she didn't need me, she didn't know me. But when she started needing me, she knew me too much, she said. I was hiding from her. And it wasn't because she was after him. That's just how she is. She didn't know me either until they put her at the front desk, and I did the front desk for a while. And it wasn't my job to train her, but she wanted to know me in case she had any questions. She knows she could come to me, right? Wow. But anyhow, so I did not too long ago, I went on YouTube. Me and Jim tried to make poutine rape. We didn't have YouTube back then and everything. We didn't have anybody to show us how to do it, but they all fell apart and it was just a mess. But recently, about a few months ago, I went on YouTube and found someone from that area, and they made 3 of them. I think they were 3. Just a small. And I made it, and they turned out really good. Jim used to, well, Nova Scotia's known for that too, see, because like he would, when he made his rape pie, you could put chicken in it or pork. But he put a little bit of garlic powder. You do the potatoes like I did, but you got to take out the water. You got to use the, I bought some there when I made the poutines, the cheesecloth there, and then you really wring it out. I don't do it for the potato pancakes. But the roughly, them 3 is, because you put the salted pork in the middle, and then you boil them. But I think I covered everything I want to talk about. Granny was from there. We got lobsters at Cape Lemure. That's where, well, at the market down home, like I said, there's Campobello and Graham and Ann. I like Delts. Delts is like the seaweed that along, and then they dry it out, and it's sort of like a purple, and it's full of iron. But I know we could get it along PEI too, because the Delts would be, the seaweed be along now. But anyhow, I can't eat those sausage. Bro's working today. He'll be home at lunch. I'll give him these. He'll eat them at lunch. Anywho, that was good. So I'm going to download the first part, my cooking. Sorry, I don't know, probably, that's why I didn't want to cook on camera, but I just want, because I would have eaten them, then I would have got a lot of questions, and, you know, what are you eating, and because it's probably, but there's German, there's all different. When I looked up the recipe, I knew what the recipe, but I wasn't sure if it was powder or baking soda that they used to. So when I looked up, I noticed there's all different potato, potato pancakes. I didn't know that. So anyways, so that's the way my neighbor made it, and that's how I grew up. And she made the raw pie, and she used to make hers with pork. And I think she used to put a little bit of garlic powder in hers too. That was many years ago, but she'd make it with chicken too. And then she'd make the potato, raw potato. Yeah. And I eat them with butter. Butter, I just like butter and salt and pepper. But I remember my neighbor, we sit, me and Mom and her daughter and my friend, we'd be eating a potato pancake, whatever. They dip it in sugar. They put the butter like I did, but dip it in sugar. I tasted it, but I just didn't like that. So tomorrow, I'm not going to talk, I don't know. I'll pick a topic. And I need a smoke. So see ya tomorrow. Today I'm going to do my laundry. I'm not going outside because I'm going to finish up the Sunny D today. Get as much vitamin C in me. Caught a chill yesterday. I was out there shoveling again and everything. So I got 3 days off, but guess what? Monday I'll go back to working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and the weekend off. So I'm going to be working Saturday, Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 days in a row. Because I'm going back to my old schedule. So I'm really resting this. Hopefully no more snowstorms for a couple weeks. But anyways, so I'm going to go for a cigarette and I'll see you tomorrow morning.